Okay, now we'll use derivatives using the table of derivatives. So we'll take some rules to just find the derivative of your function without using the definition of derivative. So we'll start with, here I will draw a table. Here's my function f, and here it's the derivative, so derived function f prime, notation of derivative. Okay, if your function is any constant number, so if f of x equals a, where a is a constant number like 1, 2, 3, pi, radical 3, radical 5, whatever, okay, its derivative is always equal to 0. So directly when you have a constant term, its derivative is 0. Example, let's take an example. Let's say f of x equals uh, radical 7, so its derivative f prime of x equals 0, since radical 7 is just a real number, so it's a constant, so its derivative is directly 0. So you don't need to find the derivative using the definition that you took. You just have to memorize that the derivative of any constant number is 0. The second rule is, if you have um, a function f of x equals a times x to the power n, okay, a is a real number, n is also any real number, its derivative is f prime of x equals a times n, so a times n times x to the power n minus 1. So what you have to do is, okay, you look at your function, you have a constant times x to the power n. What you have to do is to bring down the exponent n. You multiply it by your constant, so it's a times n, and then you subtract 1 from your exponent, so it becomes x to the power n minus 1. Example, let's say I have f of x equals 2 times x to the power 3. Okay, the derivative of my function will be, okay, my constant here, you keep it 2, you don't make it 0 because the derivative of a times x to the power n is not 0. Only you put the derivative of a constant is 0 when you just have a constant by its own, okay, nothing multiplied by the constant term. Here you have 2 times x to the power 3, so you keep a is 2, you keep it. N here is a 3, so you multiply by 3 times x to the power n minus 1, you just subtract 1 from 3, it becomes 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. So now you just simplify, 2 times 3 is 6, so it's 6x squared. Okay, so this is what you have to memorize. If you have 8x to the power n, its derivative is a times n times x to the power n minus 1. And the last rule for today will be, of course you have other rules, we'll take them in another video. Now the third rule, if you have the addition of two functions, addition or subtraction, so I'll put it plus v of x. Okay, so ux plus vx, it means you have a function in terms of x plus another function in terms of x. Its derivative f prime of x will be equal to u prime of x, so the derivative of the first function, plus or minus, it depends on the sign, plus v prime of x. So you do the derivative of each function alone. Let's take an example to make it clear. So let's say f of x is equal to 6x squared minus 7x plus 3. Okay, this is a function. It is the addition of many monomials. Here I have 3 monomials, so it's ux plus vx plus wx whatever. So it's a addition of functions in terms of x, and I want to find its derivative. So f prime of x is equal to, so it's equal to the derivative of the first one minus the derivative of the second function plus the derivative of the third one. Prime means derivative. So let's make the derivative of 6x squared. So what is the derivative of 6x squared? Let's go back. It's of the form a x to the power n, right? A x to the power n. So it's equal to a n times x to the power n minus 1. Okay, so let's make it. So a, you keep it, it's 6. So 6 times n, you bring this down, so times 2 times x to the power n minus 1, so 2 minus 1, which is 1. I will write it step by step for the first time. Okay, minus, also this is of the form a times x to the power n. Here n is 1, okay, x to the power 1. So you keep the a, you bring down the exponent n, so times 1, times x to the power n minus 1, so 1 minus 1. Okay, plus derivative of 3. We said that the derivative of any constant term is 0, so you put 0. So let's simplify. It becomes 12x to the power 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, so 12x minus 7 times 1 is 7. X to the power 0 plus 0. What is x to the power 0? X to the power 0 is 1. Always anything to the power 0 is 1. So my answer is 12x minus 7. So always the derivative of x, keep in mind the derivative of x is always 1. Okay, x to the power 0 is 1. So you can keep it in mind, just memorize it. The derivative of x is always equal to 1. So 7 times 1 here, which is 7. So that's it for today.